and thank you for joining me as I try and take you through and share with you Derby's efforts over the last 18 months of how we've delivered change within our service area. So, some of the key milestones we'd like to share with you is how we obtained our £9 million investment, our vision, objectives and goals, our challenges, some key facts and figures, some key benefits, and customer feedback and good news stories. So, in 2016, Derby City Council made the decision to undertake a full survey of all their carriageway and footway assets to determine the level of deterioration in order to understand the required level of investment back into the asset to bring them back to an acceptable, serviceable standard. Derby City Council carried out an annual engineer survey to fundamentally record all defects and provide indicative costs for suggested treatment types. Having taken all these factors into consideration, it was determined that the maintenance backlog was approximately 40.5 million. This information showed compelling evidence that unless a major investment into the highway asset was forthcoming, the backlog of maintenance would simply increase exponentially. This information was presented to senior managers and elected members, and the Derby City Council team found themselves in an extraordinary position in October of 2019. When the Cabinet member advises that they secured a £9 million investment towards highway maintenance improvements, this was a direct result of the team's full understanding of the network deterioration and what was required to bring the network back to a steady state. A key objective was to invest most of this funding in the workforce and ensure a large lion's share was delivered by our very own operatives. What followed was a clear demonstration of passion, self-assurance in our very own talent. We look to our in-house workforce investing in their current plant and operations to maximise our outputs into the highway network. Before 2021, we had relied on framework contractors to complete the medium to large complex locations, but it was now within the in-house's capability, or would be, to take on the work as business as usual. Some of our key objectives were to develop our own workforce, to use new techniques and remove some of them deep-seated attitudes that remained from the old contractor days. We wanted to finance new innovation to provide the workforce the tools, the training they needed to provide the customer a quality repair. Following on from our initial investment, we found that we could review how we organise our gangs on the network and reduce time-consuming hand repairs. This allowed us to embrace learning attitudes, pass down skill sets and knowledge to younger members of the team, embrace leadership, allowing staff to input their ideas and giving them control to carry out tasks as they see fit. Along the way, we came up against some challenges, some of which I've initially put down here. So one of them challenges were mindsets. All the staff were stuck in their way, dismissive, of embracing opportunity for change, blinkered in their approach, meaning they were not engaging effectively with their peers around them. They were missing out on work which could have been completed by them, but was instead being given to outside contractors. Some encouragement and mentoring. They are now engaging more flexible and will ask questions instead of dismissing opportunity. They also consult on the correct material to be used, ensuring the right treatment at the right place at the right time. And most importantly, they see their roles as adding value and purpose to the service. Another concept was CPD, so a consideration here. All staff were out of touch with industry standards and what was available on the market. The crews and supervisors have been on a massive learning curve. None have turned down the aspect of the role or opportunity, even if it meant late finishes, weekend working. The crews have embraced the younger members, taking them under their wing and passing on their skills and knowledge to deliver a high quality finish. Some of the crews and supervisors were worried about the quality of workmanship on large scale repairs, and they were worried that they wouldn't match up to their competitors. The crews have worked hard to deliver not only quantity but quality of repair. From the outset, we set clear guidelines on quality over quantity, and over time, as the quality grows, we've seen the efficiencies grow with it. Another aspect was risk. There was a lot of risk associated with investing in new equipment. There was a concern about using this equipment to its fullest potential, as we had been offered other equipment from other authorities, and they hadn't been able to capitalise on its potential. However, all of our team worked tirelessly to ensure that all plant and equipment and crews were working in the most efficient and effective way. We did negate the risk somewhat by hiring in the equipment first for several months to test its capability. We determined what we needed to invest in for our own level of service. So some facts and figures now. In just 18 months, the team have achieved some amazing figures, such as in their first year, we almost quadrupled our productivity from 13,000 square meters a year to approximately 60,000 square meters a year. And we did this over 72 streets. In 2021, we will have surpassed this and are on track to complete around 110,000 square meters of carriageway repairs, and this would be over about 81 streets in total. The one gang alone have brought in £1.8 million of capital in 2020 from investment at over 72 locations, relieving a large revenue burden. The same crews are now on track to complete a £2.8 million capital programme over 81 streets and around 110,000 square metres of repairs, again, which will relieve a massive revenue burden. After nearly 2 years of operations, our repair cost per square metre is around £26.37 versus our main contractor competitor at £31 per square metre. We had seen a reduction in costs of a third for our carriageway repairs through more creative techniques and learned skills. Since starting back in April 2020, we have reduced our reactive maintenance gangs and teams from 8 teams of 2 to just 2 gangs of 2, with more planned works being the main focus for these crews. The multi-hog can plane out around 320 square metres in a day, which is cut and swept with the aid of a 16-ton sweeper. Between the 2 operatives it takes to use these machines, this is a massive saving where it used to take a 4-man gang up to 3 days to remove this amount of material. We have reduced our hand-on vibration exposure by over half, utilising some of the invested equipment like the multi-hog and the paving machine to reduce the need for the use of jackhammers and whacker plates. Our halves reduction has been about 50%. We are in a better bargaining position with our supply chain when it comes to wholesale prices. For example, with our asphalt, because we know our outputs and spend for the year, this allows us to give an indicative figure to our suppliers, and that means that we can then drive down the wholesale cost of that asphalt material. Leadership and trust were just some of the key changes myself and leaders instilled in the workforce. We knew for this to be successful, we had to allow those at the sharp end the freedom to challenge and drive change we were implementing. Leadership was also provided through our supply chain, such as AP pavers. They shared their knowledge with the inexperienced crews. They demonstrated the basics of setting out, feeding tarmac and achieving levels. This resulted in the quality of workmanship, and it's been first rate ever since. Where the teams were fearing failure of blame, they were encouraged to seek out their challenges that could be overcome. For example, completing roundabouts. Once provided to a framework contractor, they now have no hesitation in going in and doing roundabouts. Rather than fear the unknown, the appetite for achievement has now motivated the crews to complete hot rolled asphalt locations in-house. Collaboration also comes from Multivo and Vertgun through building bespoke specification for their products with crews' input and help. With the good work the team have carried out over the last 18 months, we have had large amounts of good customer feedback. Here are a few. We've had a lot of good feedback over that period, and this is just 2 of what we've had. And finally, back in early September, we were shortlisted for the best service team in highways, winter maintenance and street lighting. with the Association for Public Service Excellence. We attended the night with some of the crews who have put in this work over the last 2 years, and we won, showing that all their hard work and effort the team had put in over the last 2 years was well worth it. I thank you, and I invite any questions that you would like to ask.